Hello, diamond painting besties. We are back again today to do a diamond painting session. And I thought I would do something different this time. I'm going to do a diamond painting nurse story time. I have plenty of stories to tell over the 20-something years I've been a nurse. And so I thought it would be kind of interesting to do a reflection, to look back on my career at some of the moments that have impacted me and inspired me and, all the things. And next week is my birthday. And I'll be half a century. I'll be 50 years old. So this is definitely a time of reflection, personally, professionally, all the things, So what better time to start doing nurse story times with you guys than now? And so I hope it gives you some inspiration. I hope it uplifts you. And we all need positivity all the time. So without further ado, we're going to diamond paint. We're going to complete section 2 of Peppermint. And while I'm completing section 2 of Peppermint, I'll be telling you a story. Okay, let's go. This story is about a patient that changed me. We'll call it the ICU patient I was preparing to say goodbye to. This was years ago when I was working ICU. And I've seen a lot in healthcare. Codes, trauma, miracles, loss, all of it. But this one stayed with me. Part 1. Setting the scene. We had a patient come in after a devastating car accident. Severe traumatic brain injury, diffuse swelling, no meaningful neurological response. The scans were bad. And when I say bad, I mean the kind where the room goes quiet when the neurosurgeon pulls up the images. The family was there every day, faithful, hopeful, grieving in slow motion. And clinically, we were watching the progression. If you've worked ICU long enough, you know the stages. You watch for posturing. You watch for pupil changes. You watch for Cushing's triad. And when that triad starts showing up, bradycardia, irregular respirations, widening pulse pressure, you know what it means. You know what's coming. We were essentially waiting for herniation, waiting for the final decline. And that is one of the hardest spaces to work in because you're providing excellent care, but medically the trajectory is downward. Part 2, the night shift. It was night shift. Of course it was. ICU nights have a different energy. It's quieter, more intimate, more reflective. It was just me and another colleague in the room. We were doing routine care, repositioning, checking lines, maintaining dignity. The family had stepped out for the night, but had left a small radio in the room that played soft gospel music during the day. We turned it off earlier in the shift because it had been staticky. The room was calm, monitors humming, ventilators cycling, and then something happened that I will never, ever forget. Part 3, the shift in the room. The room got noticeably cold. Not, oh, the AC kicked on cold. The kind where you look at each other without saying anything because you both feel it. And then the radio turned on by itself. And no static, no fuzz, just clear gospel music. Soft, steady, peaceful. Now listen, I'm a clinician. I believe in physiology. I believe in pathophysiology. I believe in evidence. But I also believe in humility. Because in that moment, neither one of us touched that radio, and we both froze. Not afraid, just aware. The energy in that room changed. It didn't feel chaotic. It didn't feel scary. It felt calm, intentional. Part 4, the clinical turn. We finished care. We documented. We kept monitoring. And over the next several hours, things began to change. Vital signs stabilized. Heart rate normalized. Pressure requirements did not escalate like we expected. ICP, which is the intracranial pressure, the pressure in your head, the readings did not spike the way we were bracing for. We kept waiting for the crash. It didn't come. Over the next 24 hours, neurological signs that had been worsening plateaued, then slightly improved. The neurosurgeon was cautious. We all were. No one was declaring anything. But the decline we were expecting, it stalled. Days later, sedation was weaned. There were purposeful movements. And weeks later, that patient walked out of that hospital. Walked out. Part 5, processing it as a nurse. Now, let me be clear. Medicine plays a role. Time played a role. The body is complex. The brain can surprise you. There are cases of severe traumatic brain injury where patients recover beyond expectations. It's rare, but it does happen. I'm not here to rewrite science, but what I am saying is this. In that room, something shifted. And whether it was the body deciding to fight, the brain swelling, stabilizing at just the right moment, equipment malfunction with perfect timing, or something spiritual. I don't claim to know everything, but I do know that miracles exist because I saw it. And that's the point. As healthcare providers, we get comfortable thinking we understand everything because we understand so much. But moments like that remind you we do not control life. We support it. We manage it. We fight for it. But we do not own it. Part 6. What that experience did to me. That patient changed how I practice. It made me slower to predict outcomes. It made me gentler with families. It made me careful about how confident I say this is what's going to happen. Because sometimes it doesn't. It also deepened my faith. Not blind denial of reality, but hope in the space where medicine has limits. I saw that family pray daily, quietly, not demanding, just faithful. And I saw something I cannot fully explain with science. Part 7, the leadership lesson. As a nurse, and now as a certified registered nurse anesthetist, that case taught me something powerful. You show up fully, you do your job excellently, you honor the science, but you leave room for humility, because outcomes are not ours to command. It also taught me that when we think it's over, sometimes it's not. And that applies beyond the ICU. It applies to marriage, finances, career, dreams. Sometimes the monitor looks like it's flatlining on your goals, and then something shifts in the atmosphere. Part 8, the clinical reality check. Now let's ground this. Severe brain injuries are devastating. Most do not reverse like that. Cushing's triad usually signals impending herniation. That's where the bottom of the brain slips down into the hole with which your spinal cord goes down. It's serious. So this story is not to create false hope in situations where families need realistic counseling. It's to acknowledge that medicine is powerful, but it is limited. We operate in probabilities, not absolutes. Part 9, why I'm sharing this. I'm sharing this because 1, healthcare will humble you. 2, you will witness things you cannot neatly categorize. 3, you must remain compassionate even when the prognosis is poor. And 4, never lose respect for the mystery of the human body and for miracles. And if you're not in healthcare, here's what I want you to take from this. As long as there is breath, there is possibility. Not denial, possibility. And as I end this story, I want to say that night when the room got cold and the gospel music played, I didn't feel fear. I felt peace. And weeks later, watching that patient take steps out of that hospital, it reminded me that sometimes we are standing in the middle of a story we don't fully understand. And that's okay, because our role isn't to understand everything. It's to care well while we're there. Anyway, that's the story of the patient who changed me. Not because it was dramatic, but because it reminded me that even in ICU, even when we think we know the ending, sometimes the story, it just isn't finished. So I want you guys to comment down below your thoughts on that experience I had, and we'll talk about it. It was definitely a very emotional experience indeed, and it impacted me greatly. So down below, just give me your thoughts. So now I want to do a segment where I'm going to reflect on turning 50 next week. And so I have a list of questions, 50 questions that will mark this milestone of me turning 50. And I'm going to go through these questions with you guys and answer them the best that I can. But it is, 50 questions. And they're broken up into different categories. And the categories are identity and being, family and legacy, career and purpose, wealth and freedom, self and softness. So those are the categories, and we're going to go through them, and I'm going to answer them. And I have an affirmation for myself as I turn 50. And the affirmation is, you are not starting over. You are starting from experience. 50 is powerful. 50 is clarity. 50 is alignment. So those of you guys who are Gen Xers and that were born in 1976, say that with me. You are not starting over. You are starting from experience. 50 is powerful. 50 is clarity. And 50 is alignment. Yes. So now let's go through the 50 questions. So the first category is identity and becoming. Question 1. Who was I at 25 and who am I now? At 25, you were hungry and determined. Now, I'm strategic and self-aware and self-assured. The fire is still in me, but it's controlled now. It's not burning wild. It's not burning out of control. I have the power. I have the control over my fire. Question 2. What did I survive that nobody saw? The pressure of being strong when I was tired. That's what I survived that nobody saw. The quiet anxiety of responsibility. The moments I doubted myself. But I showed up anyway. I showed up anyway. Number 3. What parts of me had to grow up fast? The provider. Yeah. The provider, the decision maker, the woman who couldn't afford to fall apart. I couldn't afford to. What parts of me are just now softening? So that's number 4. What parts of me are just now softening? It's the part of me that realizes that rest is not weakness. The part that no longer needs to prove her worth. Number 5, where did I shrink myself? I shrunk myself in rooms where my competence made others uncomfortable. Has anybody else had to do that? You shrunk yourself in rooms where your competence made others feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Number 6, where did I stand tall? I stood tall in the operating room, in my home, in every decision that aligned with my children's future. That brings me pride. Number 7, what fears no longer control me? That would be the fear of not being enough. I've already proved that. I've already proved that I'm enough. I'm enough. You're enough. We are enough. Number 8, what did my children learn by watching me? My children learned that discipline creates freedom, and that goals are promises that you keep to yourself. Your goals are promises that you keep to yourself. You make a goal, it's a promise. You don't want to break that promise to yourself. Number 9, what generational cycles did I break? Scarcity thinking. Scarcity thinking. Playing small. Accepting less than alignment. Yes, I'm going to stick with those. Scarcity thinking, playing small, and accepting less than what aligns with my life. What sacrifices were worth it? That's number 10. What sacrifices were worth it? The studying, the long nights, the missed social events, because I built stability. And now I can go to the social events. But I built stability. Number 11, how do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a woman who did what she said she would do. A woman who did what she said she would do. Number 12, what did becoming a CRNA cost me? It cost me time, sleep, ease, but it brought me autonomy, income, leverage, and choices. Though that's major. Number 13, when did I know I was exactly where I was meant to be? The first time I realized that my clinical judgment carried weight and I trusted it. I trusted myself. I stood by my credibility, regardless of anything that's happening around me, regardless of what anybody else is saying about me. It was irrelevant because I realized that I trusted me and my clinical judgment, because I had worked hard to learn all the information and stay current on all the information. So I believed in me. Number 14, what impact did I make that I'll never fully see? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. And I think when it comes to anesthesia, because we take care of patients while they're asleep, and then getting them to recovery safely, but we don't see them after that. So I would think my answer with that would be the patients who felt safe because of my care and my calmness and my impact on their safe anesthetic. I won't fully ever see that because I don't see my patients after they go home and recover and do great. And then nursing colleagues who aren't, of course, CRNAs, that see me and believe bigger because they see me and what I've accomplished. That impact I may not ever see. But I certainly hope has happened, right? Number 15, what am I ready to release? Overworking as a badge of honor. I have released that already, and I plan to maintain that. Overworking as a badge of honor. Number 16, what did I believe about money at 30 that I don't believe now? That income equals security. Now, assets equal security, not necessarily income, if that makes sense. Number 17, what does wealth mean now? Now for me, wealth means time freedom, margin, peace, and options. Number 18, what would you buy? 18, what would buying back my time look like? It would look like less reacting and more choosing. Hands down. Spending less energy on reacting to things and spending more energy on choosing better options. Yeah, for sure. Number 19, what kind of lifestyle do I want in my 50s? Very nice. Soft mornings, intentional work, travel without guilt, and health prioritization. Yeah, so prioritize my health, travel without guilt, work with intention, and soft mornings, soft middays, soft nights, all of that. All right, moving on. Number 20, what am I no longer apologizing for? Ambition, standards, and boundaries. Yeah, hands down. Ambition, standards, and boundaries. No longer apologizing for those. Number 21, what brings me real joy? Creating, diamond painting, reading, teaching, music, lots and lots of music, building something that outlives a shift. So regardless of what happens, I want to build something that's unshakable, that cannot be moved. Number 22, what am I deeply proud of? I'm proud of the fact that I aligned my career with my family and not the other way around. Very proud of that. Very, very proud of that. That's why I didn't go to medical school, because I wanted to be able to align career with family, not family with career, if that makes sense. Number 23. What am I forgiving myself for? For the seasons where survival was louder than joy, where I was just in survival mode and, joy was getting pushed down over, survival was priority, but you do what you have to do, right? You do what you have to do. Number 24, what promise am I making to myself? I will spend my 50s not proving anything. And I will spend my 50s positioning myself for even greater things. Number 25, what labels did I outgrow? What labels did I outgrow? Just a nurse. In quotations, just a nurse. What's another one? In quotations, too ambitious. And when people say you're doing too much, so doing too much. So I outgrew every label that tried to shrink my range, basically. I outgrew those. Yep. Number 26, what strengths did I earn the hard way? Whew. Emotional control under pressure would be one thing I learned the hard way, or earned the hard way, I should say. Discernment about people. I've always been pretty sensitive when it comes to discernment, but it's definitely gotten even more intense and sensitive. Yeah, for sure. And the ability to pivot without panic. So I'm able to pivot and not panic and trust that things will work out as long as I stay focused. Number 27. When did I realize I was stronger than I thought? When did I realize I was stronger than I thought? When life didn't slow me down and I didn't collapse. So when life didn't slow me down or cause me to collapse, that's when I realized I was stronger than I thought. When I went through some pretty intense life experiences, but I'm still standing to this day. Number 28, what version of me deserves more compassion? The younger me who thought that I had to handle everything alone. That version of me definitely deserves more compassion, for sure, because I didn't have to handle everything alone. I'm so grateful for my family, for my tribe. So grateful. Number 29, what am I still learning about myself? That I crave peace more than applause now. For sure. Peace over applause, peace over recognition, peace over all of that. I just want peace. And that's what diamond painting and listening to books does for me. It brings me peace after a chaotic day. Number 30. What parts of me feel most authentic today? That would be the educator, the builder, the woman who speaks plainly and stands in it. I say what I mean what I say. Grateful that I'm at that point in my life now. Let's move on. We don't have many more to go. 20 more questions. 31. Where did I choose peace over pride? where did I choose peace over pride? In moments where I could have been right, but I chose to protect the relationship instead. That can be tough. That can be tough sometimes. What is the saying? Pick your battles. Pick your battles. And I often say, if it's not going to matter in 100 years, some things you can just let go. Of course, some things you shouldn't let go. Things that compromise the love you have for yourself, or you should have for yourself. Yeah, that we can't let that go. Love for yourself and self-respect cannot be compromised, but there are things that definitely you can let slide. 32. What conversations still need to happen? Oh, for me, it would be legacy conversations, health conversations, wealth transfer conversations. So just making sure I solidify my focus on my personal health, being more intentional with mainly the working out. I eat pretty well. I try to recenter my thinking. But working out is the one thing that I do have a challenge with, is being consistent with working out. And also our financial fitness. I definitely want to work more on that as well. Number 33. What memory makes me emotional every single time? Seeing my children recognizing my discipline and calling it strength. Because they'll say there are a lot of things that I accomplished, with children, and they are doing certain things without children, and they're just trying to understand the strength that I must have had. And at the time, you just do what you got to do. And now when you look back on it, you realize you did a lot. You accomplished a lot. You worked hard, regardless of people that tried to diminish you, lessen you, shrink you. They're irrelevant, because I know what I did to get to this point, to get to this part of my life. I know what I've done. Number 34. How have I changed as a mother? Less control, more guidance, more modeling, less micromanaging. And I say all that, but I didn't really do that. I am very much a person that my children can talk to openly, and my disciplinary method was to focus on the consequences with them and not just say don't do something, but this is why it's not a good idea to do that. If that makes sense. Focusing on the consequences and not focusing on telling them what not to do. And that was very effective. And now I have a 25, soon to be 26-year-old, a 28, soon to be 29-year-old, and a 31, soon to be 32-year-old, and they're thriving. So that method definitely works better. Number 35. What does legacy mean now? Legacy means assets, wisdom, emotional stability, a blueprint. So making sure you have assets, wisdom, emotional stability, and a blueprint for anything you want to achieve in life. Any goal you want to achieve, you need to have a blueprint to do so. Number 36. We're almost there. Where did I bet on myself? Where did I bet on myself? Anesthesia school. Every time. That was not a safe choice. It was a strategic one. Going to CRNA school was a strategic choice, and I'm grateful I did it. So grateful. What part of my career drained me unnecessarily? I'll say carrying responsibility that wasn't mine to carry. Yeah. Taking on responsibilities that were not mine to carry. That drained me. But now I set limits. I set boundaries. I focus on family and time. So yeah, that's a good question. Number 38. Where did I undercharge or undervalue myself? Definitely in the early parts of my life, the early years, when I was grateful just to be at the table, grateful to be that small percentage of people that are CRNAs. I did undervalue myself at that point, but you grow, emotional intelligence increases, and you understand there are things bigger than just saying that you're at the table. There's also integrity to maintain. So there's that. Number 39. What kind of work energizes me now? I would say ownership, teaching, creating systems, building something scalable. Those definitely energize me. And because I'm in a career where we're taught, we're trained, we receive education, we receive clinical training and all of that. And then you go and you do that, right? That's what you do as a career. But building a business, having ownership, scaling that is something that's new to me. But it's definitely something I want to do on a bigger scale. I've done small things, had a cake business in the past, but I do want to do something on a bigger scale. And that seed was planted by my grandparents who owned a grocery store in their community. So there's that. Number 40. What am I done tolerating professionally? What am I done tolerating professionally? Disorganization, inefficiency, lack of vision, mediocrity disguised as comfort. Yep. Those are definitely what I'm done tolerating professionally, for sure. And number 41, what financial move am I most proud of? I'm most proud of choosing a high income skill that gave me leverage. Hands down. Number 42, where did I delay investing in myself? Rest, personal branding, intellectual property. Definitely delayed that, but we're focusing on that now. 43, what does financial freedom actually look like? To me, it looks like work as an option at some point. Work as an option, not as a necessity. That is definitely financial freedom. That's the FIRE movement. I'm sure you guys have heard of the FIRE movement, which is financial independence, retire early is what the acronym means. So yeah, definitely. Number 44, what risks am I more willing to take now? I'm more willing to take certain risks now, which are the calculated asset-based risks, not emotional ones. Yep. Definitely. Number 45, we're almost there. What would 60-year-old me thank me for starting at 50? Building passive income, protecting health, prioritizing strength. Yes, all of that. Number 46. We just got 5 more to go. 5 more questions we're done with my 50 questions of turning 50. The 50 questions of turning 50. Number 46. What boundaries protect my peace now? No explaining, no overextending, no rescuing grown adults. Yes, no explaining, no overextending, and no rescuing grown adults. Boom. Number 47. What does soft life really mean for me? It's not laziness, that's for sure, because I'm not lazy, but it's intentional pacing. So being intentional with my time, being intentional with my energy. Definitely intention. To me, that's what soft means. Soft life means intentional living. Number 48. What am I no longer chasing? What am I no longer chasing? External validation. Yes, external validation. Titles for ego. Approval from people who don't pay my bills. Do you pay my bills? So external validation, titles for ego, and approval from people who don't even pay my bills. If they don't pay your bills, why are you letting these people get in your head, right? Number 49. What season am I stepping into? We are stepping into this season. This 50-year-old season. The season is authority. The season is ease. And the season of expansion. So this is the season of authority, ease, and expansion for me as I turn 50 next week. And then the very last question, number 50. What truth do I know at 50 that I didn't know at 30? Well, let's think on that one because it's the last question. So the truth I do know. The truth I know at 50 that I didn't know at 30. Okay. The truth is that I don't have to hustle to prove my worth. First, you hustle to build the assets, but then you let the assets work for you. That's the smart way, right? Number one, you don't have to hustle to prove anything to anybody, but you're going to hustle for yourself so you can build the assets. So then said assets will work for you. Got it? Love that. Another affirmation. You have built a foundation. Now you refine it. Your 30s were grind. Your 40s were mastery. And your 50s can be leverage. And leverage is where real freedom lives. That was good. That was awesome. So reflecting on the last 50 years of my life. And it's really interesting because it doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like I've really been here 50 years on this planet, and the time just slips by. And we hear it as you get older, it slips by faster. But it just all seems like it was a dream, And I'm proud of the things that I have accomplished. I'm proud of not crumbling. There definitely were times that crumbling would have been understood. No one would have faulted me for crumbling, but I didn't. I stayed strong. And I just, you have your day or two of feeling sorry for yourself, crying, or, being upset, but then you pick yourself up. And I've always been able to do that because I have a foundation. And that foundation has kept me strong. And then I am grateful that I have been able to be a inspiration to my children. That's probably the thing I'm most proud of, and that I'm able to work in a career that I'm able to serve others and be positivity, to be love, to be a light for them on that given day that I'm providing them safe anesthesia. That is a blessing, to serve others in that capacity in a very vulnerable time. That has been, besides my relationship with the Maker, besides my spouse, besides my children, besides my relationship with my parents, that has been a blessing for me to be able to do that, to be able to help people when they're scared. And we say a lot of times we have to give verbal anesthesia before the actual drugs, right? And to be there for that person and give them that compassion, because, you only have maybe 5 to 7 minutes to build a rapport with the person before you're taking them back and putting them to sleep. And I'm grateful that I've been given that gift to help people feel comfortable in that moment before I even, go put them to sleep. So I have a lot to be proud of. And as I look at different things around me in the world, there are things that we definitely aren't proud of when it comes to our environment. But you have to focus on you. And that's what I realized in my 50s, is that now that I'm turning 50 soon, is that you have to focus on your character, right? You have to focus on your character. And by doing that, the goal is that your character will bring about change in someone else if they're not where they should be. Because I definitely have people in my life that I know were sent to me for different purposes, right? And they will sharpen the dull parts of me. Iron sharpens iron, right? So they will sharpen the dull parts of me, and then vice versa. I may sharpen the dull parts of them. And that's what it's all about. That's what community is. That's what humanity is. That's what love is. And so that's what I'm looking back on as I turn 50. And then I'm grateful for this community, this diamond painting and book community that I am connected to. This hobby has been a godsend. It has helped me when I was so discombobulated, and I just come in here and I diamond paint and listen to a great book or a podcast, a TV show, anything else that's maybe spiritual, centering. And I look at your posts, all of y'all's posts that you post with your diamond paintings and, your glimpses of your life. And it's beautiful, and even though the diamond painting was the way I was able to connect with you guys, it's definitely not why we're staying connected. We're staying connected because we see something in each other that brings us joy, that makes us smile. We'll see a post, we'll see a video, we'll see a reel, and it makes us smile. It brings us joy. And then it brings us joy that you're overjoyed, And that's what it's about. It's about community. It's about support. It's about love, positivity. And so, as I look back, I'm grateful for a lot of things. So grateful for so much. Yeah. So, as I'm finishing this section of Peppermint, so I've done section 1 and now I'm finishing up section 2, as you see here. And I actually broke these sections up bigger than I normally do. I don't know what I was thinking when I broke the sections up, but yeah, I want to try to work on section 3 next and get that done. I want to get this row completed by let's see, tomorrow. I guess by Tuesday. But Tuesday, this is something cool. Tuesday, I'm supposed to, if it's not too bad, if the ice isn't bad on the roads, I'm supposed to go to Georgia because my orthodontist is in Georgia. That's where I was living at. Then we moved back to Tennessee. So I had to go back there to get my adjustments and all that stuff. So the goal is to get them off on Tuesday, my braces. Guys, I'm so excited. But the ice storm, hopefully it does not hinder that, because I am so excited to get my braces off, because I want to get them off before my birthday. And we do have some plans. Me and my husband, we're going to do kind of a staycation type of situation. And because there's just a lot going on, we just don't want to travel right now. But we're going to do some things for my birthday. But I really want to get my braces off. I will say the braces have not been horrible by any means. Now, they did want to fix my crossbite and put in a palate expander. We tried that. I could not talk. I was miserable. I said, you got to get this palate expander out of me. I'm not going to be able to do it. And I work in healthcare. I've got to be able to communicate. I couldn't talk. So, but nonetheless, we're going to get the best result we can get and get the braces off on Tuesday if the ice allows us to travel, if it's melted. Please, guys, cross your fingers for me that I'm able to travel on Tuesday to go get my braces taken off. But of course, it's not the end of the world, because things can always be worse, But like I said, it was a good experience with the braces. It wasn't too bad. I had the more clearer ones. Even you can still see them, but they're clear, and it wasn't that bad. What's been the bad part is that I'm having to travel back every 6 weeks. But if I can get those off, that would be great. That would be awesome. So that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to go to the nail salon one day for my birthday. We're going to get a couples massage. We're going to do dinner and just kind of relax and everything for my birthday. No big party. I don't know. I'm not feeling a big party. I'm really not. So that's pretty much it. So the goal is to finish Peppermint in the next 2 weeks and then start working on a canvas for February with an event. And I think I've picked out the canvas I want to work on for that. And I'm probably going to do an unboxing of that canvas soon. And I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 boxes of diamond paintings that have arrived that I have not opened yet. They're just here. I have not opened them. And I think the diamond painting I want to do in February is in one of those boxes. So I will do a haul at some point, and then I'll do an unboxing of the next diamond paintings that I want to do, because I kind of want to open them, look at them, that'll be inspiring for sure. And pick out the one I want to do for my next one. So we'll do that either the next video or the video after that. And so I hope you guys are really enjoying your diamond painting right now. I hope it's keeping you grounded. I hope it's keeping you decreasing your stress, because that's what I've been using it for. I've actually been taking times off of social media and focusing on diamond painting, reading, to keep my anxiety and stress under control. So that's what I've been trying to do. So down below, I want you guys to tell me, which diamond paintings are you working on right now? And I know this one I'm working on has been archived, and a lot of people were wanting it, and when they went to check the website, it's gone. It's archived, and I don't even understand why. It's such a beautiful canvas. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, because Curtis Reikovich, his art is amazing. I love his art. It's very creative. And he does a lot of work with Dreamer Designs. And I've done several of his, maybe several. This is my second one maybe. But I have several in my collection. But my very first diamond painting that I did, it was his diamond painting. The very first one I did was one by Curtis Reikovich. And let me tell you, it was the very first diamond painting I did. I did not do a mini diamond painting. I didn't do a small or medium. I did that larger one. And then I quickly realized, what did I get myself into because it looks so easy when I'm watching you guys do the videos. Why is it so hard? But then of course I kept at it and I mastered it pretty quickly, but it's still not perfect. I mean, all my lines aren't always perfect, but that's okay. It's for the fun of it all. But then I realized, okay, this is a skill for sure. And then it forces you to focus, but in not a way that you're getting stressed out, having to focus, but just lining up the colors, finding the symbols and putting the colors on there. That is very meditative for me. And I know it is for you guys too. But I guess I didn't realize how challenging it was. And then it was a square. I had never done a round. I had never done a small painting. I jumped right into a big Curtis Reikovich, and it was a square. And I was thinking, what did I get myself into? But then I kept at it, did great, finished it, and it was a diamond painting for my daughter, and she loved it. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this chatty story time, turning 50 vlog. And I'll either see you tomorrow or the next day. Like I said, I'm going to try to post at least 2 to 3 times a week. We're going to try at least once. Let's say 1 to 3 times a week. See you guys later. Bye.
I'm so insecure. Wanna tell you that I love you and much more, but I just can't find the words down. I don't wanna keep it to myself, but every time I open my mouth, I'm stopped by my pride.